Your egos are like teenagers. October 19, 2013. All are one, and daily this truth seeps into the conscious awareness of more and more of humanity, as you all, well, the vast majority of you, move closer to your awakening. It is a done deal. You are going to awaken. It is inevitable and nothing can prevent it. So focus on the inner peace and joy that you encounter when you go quietly inwards in relaxation, prayer, or meditation, knowing that this is the divine will for you all. Doing just that is extremely healing for you and for all with whom you interact. It is what you came on earth to do. You can do it beautifully, and that is all that you need to do. Truly, it is very simple. Focusing on your anxieties and fears is very counterproductive, although they do often seem extremely important as they demand an enormous amount of your attention. Just continue practicing letting go of them except when you are dealing directly in the now moment with issues that cause them. You were created in joy for joy, that is your natural state, and when you focus on what disturbs you or makes you unhappy, you are effectively withdrawing from that state. As you are well aware, worrying changes nothing, it just adds to your stress and unhappiness. Be loving, of yourselves and of others, whatever the situation, and refrain from judgment. If an error has been made, forgive it, correct it if possible, and then move back into your peaceful inner space where you allow the thoughts of worry, judgment, and fear that arise to flow past you like the weather, without engaging with them. It is a bit like going out in the rain. You dress appropriately, take an umbrella, and the rain ceases to be an issue. Every day you are moving ever closer to the moment for which you have been praying and hoping, and your intent that it happen is bringing it towards you, and because you know that, it makes perfect sense to be joyful, cheerful, and upbeat. Remind yourselves, when you observe the pain and suffering of others in the outside world, that this will pass. No one is undergoing something that at a deeper level of their being they did not agree to undergo. If possible, offer physical assistance or comfort to any in your vicinity who are in need. Hold them in your hearts compassionately while lovingly intending for them, and for every other human apparently caught in painful or catastrophic situations, to pass quickly and easily through their suffering, and onwards towards their awakening. Awakening, as every channeled message is telling you, is your purpose, and not yours alone, but the purpose of every human everywhere on earth. I cannot stress strongly enough that fact and the divine truth of the oneness of all that exists. The sense of separateness that you experience as humans is illusory, no matter how real it appears to you, and the more you involve yourselves daily in the mundane activities and thought processes that seem to be so essential for your earthly well-being, the more difficult it is for you to access your quiet inner space where you are always connected to your source. It is from there that you can get a sense of that oneness, of your connectedness to one another and to your source that will uplift and inspire you, because that is how you access the field of divine love in which you are eternally enveloped, and by which you are embraced. Taking time out daily to go within and welcome the divine embrace in which you are enfolded is essential for your health, both physical and spiritual, because doing so brings into your conscious awareness the knowledge that you are spiritual beings whose real nature is love. And by opening your hearts to accept what is always being offered to you, you will feel that love. When you make a point of keeping that knowledge consciously in your awareness as you go about your daily activities and chores, it enables you to operate from your true nature in all situations, even when you are under attack, and to respond with love and compassion regardless of any provocations that you experience. Yes, of course, your egos will continue to look for and immediately sense any attacks or provocations, warranted or unwarranted, directed at you, and encourage you to react to them forcefully to establish your boundaries by defending yourselves against them, and they nearly always appear unwarranted, do they not? But when you are making contact regularly with your true nature through your periods of rest, relaxation, and meditation or prayer, you are constantly intensifying the power of love that flows through you at all times, by removing any obstructions or restrictions to its onward flow, increasing your awareness of it, and thus enabling you to respond to any attack or provocation with love, despite the calls from your egos to go to war. As humans, your egos are always with you, But as you focus more intently and consciously on the love that is your nature, that is your life, you become increasingly aware that your egos are not very wise, that they lead you into situations that are not conducive to peace, and you then find it easier to ignore or bypass their guidance and their demands for knee-jerk reactions. Your egos are like teenagers, always powerfully expressing their rights, their individuality, and demanding instant gratification and satisfaction, or else. That is rather a sweeping statement because obviously not all teenagers behave like that, in fact vast numbers do not, but it is a useful analogy to which most of you can relate, even the teenagers among you, and there are far more of those than you can imagine now that the new age has arrived. So once again the message is about love, which is your eternal and divine nature, and how to engage with it by bringing it into your conscious awareness so that the engagement becomes constant instead of sporadic, uncertain, or fitful. The point of life is to be fully aware at all times of your true nature, and when you are then that is what you will display and operate from, instead of from the confused and fearful mini-selves that your egos made for you and want you to believe in and spend your time protecting. It does seem, when in your limited human state of consciousness, that to operate from love instead of from your egos is to lay yourselves open to untold abuse and betrayal. That you are making yourselves utterly vulnerable, defenseless, weak. But, as you will find, that is not the case. When you are vulnerable because you are engaging with and operating from and through love, you are invincible. When you are attacked or betrayed, it is your egos that are hurt, that suffer, not the real you, and as your hearts open in love the true you becomes ever more present, the ego's importance and influence declines, and what used to hurt or upset you no longer does, or only does so far less forcefully. You are not your egos, you never have been, and you never will be. They are like autopilots, and their purpose is to bring your attention to issues that need physical resolution in the moment. The stove is hot, don't touch it. This is your turning. The traffic lights are red. Things that can cause your own or someone else's body harm, and that is all. But what has happened is that because of their efficiency at those tasks you have granted them autonomy over you, you have given your power to them, and they have neither the intelligence nor the wisdom to use it properly. When you reclaim your power, by consciously taking it back from your egos and their knee-jerk responses, and then intend to live lovingly in every moment, you will find peace and contentment such as you have never before experienced in your human lives. You can only be hurt or offended if you choose to be. The true you would never make that choice, and no more does God, because there is only eternal unconditional love and acceptance, anything else is unreal. Attack and provocation are of the illusion, not of reality, and it is in the illusion, in the pain, suffering, confusion, and betrayal that are almost constant there that the ego has its existence, and so it defends it viciously. Do not be deceived by this insane and almost imperceptible part of yourselves that appears totally real, and in others often seems large, powerful, and threatening to you, and which lives in constant fear while trying to convince you that its fears are real, even overwhelmingly real. As you move more and more firmly, positively, and, of course, consciously into acceptance of the knowledge that you are pure love and nothing else, that small terrified part of you, your ego, will be lovingly integrated and subsumed within you, and all fear will dissolve as you once more come to know yourselves as one with each other and with God. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman2.wordpress.com